Rumours of a failed coup, a prince under house arrest, top officials in jail and a kingdom in turmoil. This is the story of Jordan, a tiny Arab nation with ancient monuments and seaside resorts. In a turbulent West Asia, Jordan stood out like a beacon of stability, but not anymore. This weekend has changed a lot. This weekend, Jordan put a prince under house arrest for allegedly plotting a coup. The prince in question is Hamzah bin Hussein, the man on your screen, a former crown prince and half-brother of the King of Jordan, Abdullah II. He has released a dramatic video. He says the army visited him and decided to lock him up inside his own home.
Today, the chief of the general staff visited me and told me on his behalf and on the behalf of the Director General of the General Security and the Director of the Intelligence Service, they warned me of getting out of the house and communicating or meeting with people. My security detail as well as my sons were pulled out completely and the communications were cut from my house. I am expecting them to cut the last available tool now. I am expecting them to cut it shortly.
So this is his side of the story. What does the other side say? They claim that he was plotting a coup against the King of Jordan, that Prince Hamzah bin Hussein was targeting the King of Jordan. So the crackdown began on Saturday. Now the movement of the prince has been limited and he's not the only one facing the heat here. Nearly 20 high-ranking officials in Jordan have been arrested. What did they do? Apparently they were also part of his plot to overthrow the king. On Sunday, the government of Jordan revealed the charges against the prince, and the gist of it is this. The former crown prince was cooperating with foreign entities to quote-unquote pursue a long-term plot to destabilize the kingdom.
As part of the comprehensive investigations conducted by the Jordanian Armed Forces, the Arab Army and the General Intelligence Department, as well as the Department of Public Security, the security agencies have looked into the long-term activities and movements of Prince Hamzah bin al-Hussein, Sharif Hassan bin Zayed, Bassem Ibrahim Awadallah, and other figures that target the stability and security of the country. The investigations monitored interference in calls, including calls with foreign parties regarding the suitable timing to start steps to shake the security of our steady Jordan.
So this is what it boils down to. Two estranged royals, half-brothers, vying for the throne. One is the King of Jordan, King Abdullah II. The other is a former crown prince, Hamzah bin Hussein. They're both sons of late King Hussein. Abdullah is the eldest. He is now the king. Hamzah is the youngest. He was his father's favorite. He was made the crown prince after the king's death in 1999. But in the year 2004, the title was taken away from him. King Abdullah transferred the title to his own son. You can now imagine how that played out. We'll tell you more about the family feud in just a bit. But we must underscore one point here. The power struggle never really made it to the surface until this weekend. The royal family of Jordan always presented a united front in public. So when the crackdown began, it came as a shock to many. And it unfolded in broad daylight, laying bare the deep divisions among the rulers of this kingdom. It even caught the locals by surprise.
For me, there is no dispute when it comes to the king. Everyone agrees when it comes to him. Whether the government makes the right or wrong moves, this is normal. But we were surprised that this touches higher ranks. There is no dispute over the king. All Jordanians support him. As for the government and the parliament, we disagree sometimes with them. Prince Hamzah surprised us. It wasn't expected that someone from the family would be involved. It has never happened before in history.
I was as surprised as everyone else with this disturbing news. It really caused pain to everyone. We wish for prosperity and progress for Jordan, and for the issues to be resolved, as the king said, within the royal family. We hope that everything goes fine, and we wish the best for the country.
The crackdown unsettled Jordan's neighbors too, especially the claims of a quote-unquote foreign hand in the alleged coup. The neighboring countries lost no time in voicing their support for King Abdullah. A statement from Saudi Arabia extended full support to the Jordanian king. Israel also issued a statement. Israeli Defense Minister Benny Gantz called the crackdown a domestic issue. But he did say that Israel will do everything they can, and I'm quoting again, to assist Jordan. Similar statements came from Egypt, Bahrain, Lebanon, the Palestinian Authority and Morocco. The United States also threw its lot with King Abdullah. For America, Jordan is an important ally. During the Iraq War, Jordan had cooperated with the US. It was also a partner in the US-led campaign against the Islamic State. And for any future peace deal between Israel and Palestine, the US is going to need Jordan's support. And this should explain Washington's position on what happened in Jordan. As for Amman itself, the situation is still volatile. Prince Hamzah released an audio recording today saying that he will disobey orders by the army, and this poses a direct challenge to the king's authority.
The situation is a bit difficult, and the guards have withdrawn. The Army Chief of Staff came to me and issued threats in the name of heads of security agencies. I recorded his comments and distributed them to my acquaintances abroad as well as my family in case something happens. Now we are waiting to see what they're going to do. I don't want to escalate now, but of course I will not abide when he tells me you're not allowed to go out, tweet or connect with people and you're only allowed to see family members. When an army chief of staff says that, this is something that I think is unacceptable. Currently we are waiting for a solution.
So while the king may get statements of support from his allies outside the country, public sentiment at home may be an entirely different ballgame, and this is not going to be easy for the King of Jordan to maneuver. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.